Hi guys, I'm live from my bedroom because I was making too much noise in the... Is it cutting out? If it's cutting out, let me open this door. Hang on. Good connection. Is it choppy, guys? Is it laggy, or can you see me? Unstable connection. Let me just open this door a bit. Hang on, wait 2 seconds. Is it all right? Is the connection okay? Unstable. Good. Unstable. Good morning. Okay, John's here. Bit choppy. Okay, let me open the door, guys. Hang on. Hang on. Is that better? Is that better, guys? Good connection? Bit choppy. Is it better now? Hi, Lavina. Hi, darling. How are you over there in Amsterdam? It's a bit choppy. Oh, is it all right now, guys? Better? Okay, good. I opened the door. So I've moved to my bedroom, so hopefully I'm not too loud here. I have a very booming, loud voice if you hadn't noticed. Maybe I need to get even closer to the screen. Is that the problem? I don't go live with people. Thanks for sharing the video, Carla. Chameleon. Hi, guys. What's going on? What is revision and how do you replace old memories? So revision, darling, is just revising the past as if it never happened, as if something different happened. Okay, so Neville talks about revising at the end of your day, revising your entire day. Like, what do you wish had happened? What would you like to change? And you change it in your mind. He did it every night before he went to bed. He'd just lie there and think, okay, what would I like to have had done differently? Oh, that said, I got in trouble by my landlord. Oh, I'm going to imagine that they don't care. They love me. They understand that this is my job and sometimes I'm loud and they forgive me and it's all over and we're all resolved and everyone's forgiven and forgotten, right? That's what happened to me today. So I revised today when I got told off. I thought when she comes back to talk to me, she's going to be calm. She's going to be understanding. We're going to come to a resolution and it's all going to be resolved. Okay, that's kind of revising. I kind of revised the way she turned up in my reality when she was angry at me this morning, my landlord, and because I revised it in my mind. No, proper revision would be going back and imagining we never even had the altercation in the morning and she never told me off in the morning. That would be proper revision. Going back and imagining she never told me off and then the whole thing would be like it never happened. But I kind of just changed it to, I made assumptions that she wouldn't be angry when I next saw her, which is what worked. But I could have revised the whole thing and imagined she never even told me off. That would be proper revision. Going back in your mind and changing the scene in your mind. How to delete any old thought so it won't manifest in reality. Look, guys, you don't have to delete the thought. I just want you to put in a new thought. You can't actually delete the old thought. You have to replace it with a new thought. Thoughts don't go away unless you give it something to replace it with. It can't exist in a vacuum. Okay, you've got to think new thoughts, which is why we affirm or think the new story. How can I live in the end if I can't control my feelings? Darling, your feelings are caused by your thinking. You've got to control your thinking, not your feelings. Don't try and control your feelings. All you can control is the thoughts you're thinking. So when you feel your feelings running away with you, you've got to think, well, what am I thinking that's making me feel this way? Oh, I'm thinking he doesn't love me. I'm thinking he'll never come back. Well, they're my thoughts. I've got to change those. Got it? Have a marathon. How to control the fear. I never let fear overtake me. I don't let fear run me. It's just my imagination. I have nothing to fear. It's just my imagination. My marathon always goes well. Every time I run a marathon, I run it smoothly. I'm a brilliant marathon runner, things like that. I was a Brisbane girl living in Greece. Oh, are you, darling? Oh, Calimera. Is it the morning over there? How to think from the desire and not think of it. To think from it is to imagine a scene with your eyeballs as if in first person perspective you are there in the scene. That's how to think from it, as if you're in the scene now. So say it was your wedding day and you're walking down the aisle and you yourself were the groom. Your eyeballs would see your bride walking towards you. If you were the bride, you would see your groom ahead of you and you would see your dad's arm and your dad. You wouldn't see you. You'd be thinking from the wedding. That's how to think from. Do you think we can have an influence on the bridge of incidents like the way it plays out? Not really. I mean, you can decide on a scene and hope that it turns out that way and assume it's going to turn out that way, but a real bridge of incidents is beyond your control. That's what Neville calls it. That's why it's called a bridge of incidents. You don't know why you're crossing it. Yes, morning. Okay, it is. How do I manifest him to come back to me and apologise? Why do you need the apology, darling? And why are you putting a laughing emoji? You've got to understand that you caused it. So an apology is kind of unnecessary when you realise you caused the whole situation with your shitty thinking about you, them, and the situation. Please go and watch my series called How to Manifest an Apology and you'll understand this. But if you want the apology, imagine the apology, but that doesn't mean you'll get back together. You just might get an apology. Good morning, love from UK. Oh, thanks, darling. So basically, thinking of it and from is the same because I always think from first person perspective. Yeah, that's thinking from. Yay, I'm not working and can catch a whole live. Oh, Kimmy, wonderful, you're not working. Hi, Sammy Ann. School run today. Men and SP drove past each other. Oh, me and SP drove past each other. Oh, wonderful, birds will land, darling. He cheated on me, left me to try and go back to his ex. Is that a question? Darling, have you watched any of my videos? Are you understanding that you caused cheating with your shitty thinking about yourself and them? What were you thinking during the relationship that caused him to go back to his ex? Did you ever have fears the whole time you're with him or any time you're with him that he still loved the ex, that he still wanted the ex, that she was really attractive and they had a really long relationship and it was his first love and or whatever the fucking thoughts were? That's why I went back to her. Did you? Be honest. I bet you did. And if you didn't know you had those, I bet you had those thoughts subconsciously. I manifested my dream relationship with my SP, but now I'm scared I'm going to lose him. Well, you will. Guys, your assumptions, if they're predominant in your brain, will manifest. If you are freaking out that you're going to lose him, you're just going to have thoughts this whole time now he's come back, I'm going to lose you. Oh, you're going to leave, aren't you? You're going to leave, aren't you? Aren't you? And then they'll just go. You've got to understand this how this works. That's how you lost them in the first place. You need to get a handle on why you think that, darling. I'm not trying to scare you, but that's how you manifested the breakup in the first place. So I want you, with all your power, to think, what was I thinking before that caused him to go away? Oh, that he would leave me, that I get abandoned, that relationships never work out for me, that men cheat, that men leave. I got abandoned by my dad when I was a kid, so now I assume all men leave. I've got to get a handle on that shit. I've got to work on my self-concept. Otherwise, he's going to leave again because now I'm getting fearful again because I didn't work on my self-concept. I just affirmed him back and now he's back. I'm still fearful. And then they leave again. I like this girl. Good advice. Oh, good, John. Your dominant thoughts manifest. Replace the negative with positive. Yes, John. How to manifest winning a giveaway. I affirmed and lived in the end. The giveaway passed and I didn't win. You probably didn't buy the ticket in the state of winner, darling. If you want to win things, you've got to assume you're going to win it from the moment you buy the fucking ticket. You can't have any negative thoughts about it. You've got to step into the state of, I won that. Whatever the giveaway was, you've got to think, well, I live in that house they're giving away. That's my house. Were you doing that? Daily dose of Loz. Here we go. Oh, Loz, I absolutely love you, but I also hate you for making me realise so many things, lol. Oh, look, I hate myself for realising so many things. Sometimes I beat myself up all day thinking, God damn it, I caused that. Didn't I? What did I do that for? I should have known better. Guys, don't beat yourself up for realising all this. I realise things on the daily, things that I did, and I think, oh, fuck. Don't beat yourself up. It's not the point. What do dreams about your SP mean? It means your subconscious being impressed by the thoughts, your affirmations are working. Give it all that meaning, darling. Is it normal to start living in your imagination more than 3D and feeling sort of still? Is it normal to start living in your imagination more than 3D? Oh, yes, absolutely. And feeling sort of still, like indifferent to the 3D, like a peace. That's wonderful. That's the Sabbath, Neville calls it. That you're like, it's all working out. It's done. That's great, darling. Not your fault. It's your assumptions from childhood that caused it. Don't blame you for not knowing. Yes, guys. You can beat yourself up all day for not knowing this shit. No one fucking knows. How many things can we manifest at one time? As many as you like, darling. Look, I would try and manifest about 4 or 5 things at a time, like house, car, SP, career, social outings, whatever it is that you want. Don't just focus on just SP or just your job, okay? Don't be so laser focused that it becomes obsessive. Can I manifest it? Can manifesting be fast, like in a week? I manifest things instantly, guys. Things I want people to say, things I want people to do. I revise things on the spot so that then the next minute it's all resolved. Like this morning, I got told off by my landlord. I resolved it in my mind that I affirmed that she wouldn't be upset, that by the time she came back, she would have time to calm down. We would have a civil conversation. It would be friendly and lovely, and she loved me and she understood my job, and that we came to a resolution. And then it happened an hour later. Okay, you can do things like that. I caused so much crap with SP. Now I'm feeling so good and happy about myself at ease. Love your videos. Oh, good, darling. Look, guys, when you cause so much crap, you will beat yourself up, but try not to. And just understand that because you caused it, you can change it. You can uncause it. Got it? Am I keeping myself hooked on SP? I don't know, Rob. Are you? Guys, you don't have to get over them. You don't have to stop loving them. That's the whole point of this. Any idiot who's saying to you, oh, you've got to not be hooked on them, you've got to not think about them, you've got to not be in love with them anymore for them to come back. What a load of shit. Why would I want them when I don't love them anymore? Do we need to work on self-concept before manifesting? Well, you're always manifesting, darling. You mean before you manifest your ex back. I would try and concentrate on your self-concept as much as you can, because that's what caused the breakup. And if you don't work on it, all you're changing is getting the SP back and SP affirmations, and then when they come back, they'll leave because you haven't changed you, and all they're reflecting is you're thinking about you and them, okay? Phyllis, in on the landlord situation, oh yeah, it's all resolved. I just told her I've moved to a different room. She said the back room of the house, but it's so dark in there, like there's yellow windows that run along, and when I tried to do a live in there, like I tried to see what it looked like, there was no light. It was just like dark. I was like I was sitting in a cave, and I put some filming lights and it still looked terrible. So hopefully this bedroom's okay. As long as the neighbours on that side don't mind me yelling. How old are you? I'm 44, darling. The other week. Do you think you can change body parts that are genetic, like bone structure, etc.? Absolutely, guys. Look, people change their eye colour and everything in the group. Say, I have beautiful bone structure. My cheekbones are so high. My jaw is so pronounced. I have such a beautiful slim face. Whatever it is you want, keep saying it. Hi, Evelyn, darling. She only wants friendship, ducks for cover. Well, darling, that's because you're friend zoning yourself, Rob. Did you have thoughts that she didn't want you back? Did you have thoughts that she didn't love you? Did you have thoughts that when she came back it wouldn't be what you wanted? This is too good to be true. I love her more than she loves me. Blah, 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 blah. You're friend zoning yourself, Rob. You need to step into the state of boyfriend. You need to use that king energy you were having when those girls were hitting on you and you're going on dates with your fucking SP. You've got to get rid of the old story about her not loving you as much as you love her. Get rid of it. Really get rid of it. Do you own a hairbrush? Wow. Why would you write that? Is that are you trying to be insulting? I like my hair like this. Is it normal to not have birds for land? See, I've got such high self-concept, darling. That comment doesn't bother me. But obviously your self-concept's so low that you feel you need to go on people's lives and insult them for some reason to make yourself feel better. I'm not quite sure why. Interesting. Can you explain the way we manifest again, please? You're manifesting all day with your predominant habitual thinking, the shit you think predominantly, most often in your mind, especially your subconscious mind, the stuff you're not even aware of thinking. That's what manifests out. You think it and think it and think it and think it. It reflects out and people reflect it back to you and act upon your thoughts. That's how manifestation works. You're doing it all day long. You just don't realize it. Your hair is so nice. Thank you. Is it okay? We have some negative thoughts, but quickly go back to the end. Yes, guys, everyone's going to have negative thoughts. Please don't kick yourself because you've got negative thoughts or beat yourself up or get despondent. Everyone has them. You are beautiful, Oz. Thank you. Love your hairbrush response. It's hurting God. What's hurting God? You are God, darling. Read the Bible again. Well, I love your hair too. Well, thank you, guys. Recorded my own affirmations last night and they've been on loop all day. Oh, wonderful, darling. I forget to put them on just in the background all day. I've really got to do that. I'm going to do that this week. That's what I'm going to do this week. I tried to revise old memories with my SP, but it hurts me a bit. Any tips? Look, guys, sometimes going back to the old memories will hurt a little bit. That's why maybe just go back to the scene just before the hurtful thing happened and change it. You know what I mean? Like how you would do it if you were in a session with a therapist and they said, go back to the traumatic abusive event when a person abused you. You wouldn't relive that moment. You'd wait till the person was about to approach you and you'd stop and revise them and make them go away or make a policeman come and take them away or your parent or something. You wouldn't actually relive the moment because it's too traumatic. It's too hurtful. So maybe you're reliving moments that are so hurtful. Maybe just stop before the moment happened and change it. Before you have the argument, say, baby, you all right? And they go, yeah, babe, sorry, I'm just in a bad mood today. I don't know why. And then you don't have the argument. Revise it maybe that way, darling. Is it okay if we have some negative thoughts but quickly go back? Yes, that's the other one. So every time I get anxious or negative thought, I should replace it with the opposite. Absolutely, darling. Every time if you can. Thoughts on vision boards. Look, it can help your mind to imagine an image, but the vision board is actually doing fuck all. It's your mind imagining yourself in the images, imagining yourself with the items, in the wedding dress, living in the house with that SP, traveling the world in that aeroplane, blah, blah, blah. It's your mind imagining the images that works, not the actual board itself. Got it? Can you explain birds for land? It's simply your self-concept working, improving daily. And people start reflecting that back to you in certain ways. So it could be exes start coming back. People start hitting you up on social media telling you you're a MILF or something like what happens to me. Okay? or people compliment you in the street, or help you with your groceries, or your family members you start getting along better with, or your friends, or you get invited out more, people hit on you. It's attention from others, better treatment from others, being reflected back to you, your new self-concept, and then your SP's next, because it's working on everyone else. You just might hold an old story about your SP. So when you get the old story rid of, then SP's next. Hi from Kelly. Oh, can I go live with you? Sorry, darling, I don't go live with people. I blocked my SP to stop me reacting or reaching out in a desperate state, but I'm still manifesting him. Is that okay? Look, guys, if you have such a lack of self-control that you need to block them, then go ahead. But I would try, if you can, to work on your self-concept so much that you don't need to actually go to that kind of measure. But if you need to, go ahead. And sometimes, look, if they're going to pop up on your Instagram or your Facebook with some third party or something, and they're your favourite, on Facebook, and then the next minute you're going to see their photos unbeknownst to you, then maybe blocking them is a really good idea so you don't get triggered. What are you talking about? We're talking about manifestation, darling. Have you tried manifesting winning the lottery? No, I haven't, darling. My parents won the lottery before I was born. Lotteries, it's called in Australia. Don't know what they did. I'll have to ask them. I have to ask my dad. My mum doesn't talk anymore, but I have to ask my dad. You have a very big opinion. Or do I? How do we become familiar with the things we aren't aware of? You mean your subconscious thinking? Maybe sit for 20 minutes, darling, in complete abject silence and write down every thought you're thinking, good and bad. Then go back and read it, and you'll see what you've been thinking all day, and it'll really shock you. Then you'll be aware of it, and then you can affirm against those negative thoughts. Turn those negative thoughts into positive ones, and turn those into affirmations. For the whisper method, do we imagine whispering in our mind, or we actually act it out? Either, guys. You can either do it in your mind or out loud. I do a lot of things out loud because I'm just a loud person, and I whisper out loud as if they're lying in bed and I'm whispering in their ear. I do it out loud, but you don't have to. How do I keep my SP when he comes back? You work on your self-concept and you don't get triggered in the 3D to whatever the fuck they're doing. You don't react. You respond. There's a big difference. Responding is thinking before you react. Reacting is just your gut, your fight or flight or freeze response that you can't control. You need to come from a place of being able to respond. And the way you do that is to really work on your self-concept and have such a strong self-concept that whatever they're doing doesn't faze you. And if it does, you can think about it before you respond. That's the key. So you've got to keep affirming the new story of you, and you've got to keep affirming or thinking of or imagining the new story and the new version of them. Even when they're showing up shitty or not the way you want or not affectionate or not committal yet, you've got to see them as the new version and only the new version, and don't get triggered and don't react. That's the key. Got it? Love you lots. Oh, thanks, Sally. What's a good way to ask someone to hang out sounding confident? Well, darling, it doesn't matter what you do out loud. It's what you're thinking while you're doing it. Okay, so you can sound confident all you like, but if your thoughts are, oh God, I hope this is confident enough. I watched some Tony Robbins and I hyped myself up before I did this, so I hope she's going to think I'm confident enough. That fearful thought will manifest her saying no. But if you have a thought, I'm so fucking confident, she wants to see me, she can't wait to go out and date with me, this girl's hot for me, and then you ask, and what you're thinking while you're asking is, of course she wants to go out on a date with me, she loves me, she's so attracted to me. Then, doesn't matter what you say, she'll think that. It's what you're thinking whilst doing it, not the action that matters. Got it? Is self-concept basically affirming about yourself? Yes, it's seeing yourself in a different light, describing yourself in your mind in a different way, the opposite way of your fearful thoughts and current shitty thoughts about yourself. I'm not good enough. I am more than good enough. My body is ugly. My thighs are fat. My ass is fat. My waist is too thick. I've got such a tiny waist. People love my pert ass. I've got the perfect body. Oh, Loz, please don't shout. I'm working on self-concept, head movement, etc. Don't want to say it, but 3D. What's this? Oh, Loz, please don't shout. I'm working on self-concept, head movement, etc. Don't want to say it, but 3D is what? Is what? You're doing crying emoji. What's wrong with the 3D? You've had movement, great. You're working on self-concept, great. What, the 3D's gone to shit? You've probably got some old thoughts popping out, or it's the old ones still playing out. Don't worry about it. Then don't say it. Yeah, well, don't say it then, darling. Exactly. You know better. Just don't say it, whatever it is. These lives just make me so happy. Oh, good, Blake. Is affirming the same as living in the end? Kind of. Living in the end's really using your imagination and thinking of a vision, a visualizing. However, you can also live in the end with an affirmation. We are so blissfully, happily married. Well, that's living the end of married. He loves me so much. Well, that's living the end of he loves me. We've built the most beautiful home together. Well, that's living in the end of we have a home together and he's not even talking to you at the moment. Affirming can be living the end too. Do you have a podcast? No, guys, but I will start recording one, I promise, after I get these courses done. It's going to be called You Run This Shit. Okay. What if I have no negative thoughts about SP for months, but I notice the lack? Well, then that's a negative thought, isn't it? Noticing the lack is negative, darling. So you're still noticing it. How can thoughts work? What do you mean, how can thoughts work? They're working all day, darling. They're reflecting out and everyone reflects them back. It's called thought transmission or telepathy. My husband just moved out and told our friends tonight, I don't want to react by talking with them. Okay, so don't tell them. Don't mention it. When they bring up, how's your husband? Say, great. Don't mention it. Guys, if you don't get triggered by your friends or anything like that, or he told your friends, oh, my husband moved out and told our friends, I don't want to react by talking with them. Okay, well, don't talk with them then. Or if they bring it up because they know about it, say, I don't want to talk about it, it upsets me, do you mind? And they won't talk about it because no one wants to upset you. And then start affirming that that never happened. Revise the whole thing of him moving out. Imagine he loves you, he's sorry, everything's forgiven and forgotten, or revise it as if it never happened. And work on your self-concept that caused him to move out. What fearful thoughts were you having during a relationship that caused that action by him? I'm finding a different shit story about myself every day. Glad I'm getting rid of it. Good, Hallie, get rid of that shit. What does dreams about the opposite of what you're trying to manifest mean? Look, guys, sometimes it's your old thoughts purging out. Just like your 3D can be a purge, your dreams can be a purge, and you're getting rid of the old shitty thinking you had stuck in there. Just give it that meaning. Does it matter if I say it out loud or whisper it in my mind? Sorry for the basics. No, don't worry, darling. Don't apologise. Guys, you can either say it out loud or whisper it in your mind or just in your mind. Not even, you're just thinking it. Thinking it or saying it out loud, either. Just don't write it down. I wouldn't write it down over and over and over. You can write it down once or twice, but don't be sitting there writing it down all day. Unless that really helps you. I mean, Manifesting with Kimberly reckons that she writes out her affirmations every day. If that helps her, well, I mean, go ahead and do it. But you have to be thinking it is the main thing. Does it matter if I say it out loud? Oh, I saw that one. So if I want a manifestation I didn't want is just about shifting my story mentally and persist. So if I want to fix a manifestation I didn't want, it's just about shifting my story mentally and persist. Yes. Shifting the story in your mind from what you don't want to what you do want. What is it you want? Well, I'm going to live in the end of that. We are so blissfully happily married. He loves me and only me. We never argue. We get along so well. Our relationship is perfect. If you're fixing having a fight, him going off with a third party, you breaking up, think the opposite. Hang on. What's the difference between unconscious and subconscious and conscious? Unconscious and subconscious is the same. It's just a different way of saying it. And your conscious mind is what you're conscious of thinking. Okay? So what you're conscious of thinking all day is your consciousness. You're aware of what you thought today. Your subconscious is what you're not aware of. That's why it's called subconscious or unconscious, as if you're like asleep whilst doing it. It's what's running in the back of your mind. It's like 98% of your brain capacity. The 2% is the conscious. Okay? So your subconscious runs your parasympathetic nervous system. It tells you to breathe in and breathe out, for your heart to beat, to digest your food, everything. It runs your whole body. And it's also running thoughts all day based on your childhood beliefs and what it thinks you are. That's your ego, really. Okay? And it runs you. And every conscious thought you're having is based on those thoughts in that subconscious mind. So does it matter to say it? Oh, I saw that one. Who do you be loved, weirded? Yes, but I never felt loved. I don't understand that at all, darling. Write that again. I had a dream about SP last night. Good sign. Yes, darling. Give it good meaning. Give everything good meaning. Great name. Oh, thanks. Can I live in the end and manifest in steps 2? Yes, guys, look, you can. You can say, we're so blissfully happily married. He's constantly calling, texting me. He loves to hear my voice. We spend so much time together. Well, you would if you're married, so it kind of makes sense. So long as what you're doing in steps makes sense with the end. You don't want to say, we're so blissfully happily married, and then say, he's starting to call me. Well, that wouldn't make any sense to your brain. It's like, what, he's starting? I thought we're married. What the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? I visualize my SP, and I'm looking at our wedding rings with both our names engraved in every night. Oh, that's wonderful, with your names engraved. Oh, that's lovely. Love that, darling. Hang on, guys. Thanks. Okay, good. I had a dream which goes against my affirmations. Can I say it's my unconscious fighting my new thoughts? Yes, darling. Give it that shitty, give that shit bad meaning, good meaning. It's just my subconscious fighting me because I'm so strong against my subconscious at the moment. It's fighting me in my dreams, but I win. Ha! I'm victorious. Yes, darling. Got success again. I was like, Positive Barry, what happened? Tell me. Why are you Barry positive all of a sudden? Why are you positive Barry? SP's back. I knew when you said you were going to meet her the other day that it would all be fine. Why did she want to meet you otherwise? Why did she need to see you in person? Didn't I say that? You I was right. Wonderful, darling. How do you not feel delusional while manifesting? Well, Kate Connolly, I don't know what to tell you, darling. Are you aware that you create your reality currently thus far? You've created your entire fucking life. If you don't get that, you're going to feel delusional and you're going to think this is magic or something. You're currently doing it all day. Your current reality, that you created that with your shitty thinking. Is there anything in your reality right now, like a breakup or bad money situation or a job you can't stand or your family not getting along with you that you might have thought might happen? You had fearful thoughts about your job being cut back or hours being cut back because of COVID and then it was, or that your SP didn't love you and then they broke up with you. You did that. Ta-da, you're a master manifester. You're not delusional, darling. You're fucking doing it already. What's this? No. So she cancelled the meeting and said, I'm moving on. Hope you are too. So I revised it. And then she texted again the next day to meet and now all good. You revised it. And it's all good. Oh, wonderful, darling. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. How do I get a one-to-one with you? I'm not doing them anymore, darling. Sorry. I'm bringing out courses. I promise. If you get the self-concept course, do that first. Then get your X-Back course. You do those together. It's everything I would have done in a call, except way longer and more involved. What your SP? What does that mean? SP just means specific person, darling, like your ex or your current boyfriend or girlfriend or the friend you're trying to get back. Oh, thanks for the boxing kangaroo, Rob. I love it. When can we get the courses? Guys, I've got to get off these lives so I can make the damn things. I sometimes feel like I'm missing something when my manifestation isn't here. What can I affirm? Don't worry, guys. Look, sometimes you beat yourself up and think, where the fuck is it? But stop looking at your 3D. Start affirming that my manifestations come quickly. I can't mess this up. Doesn't matter what I do, I can't mess this up. It's all good. Everything's coming to me in the right time, in the right way. Oh my God, so glad to see you. Oh, thanks, CJ. Will you offer them on Udemy? Oh, I didn't think of that. No, I'll just have it on a website and you can download the workbook and watch the videos. It'll have a password, a username and a password, and you'll go in there individually, watch the videos and download the worksheets because there will be a lot of work for you to do along with the videos. If you just watch the videos, it won't help you. You have to actually do the assessment of yourself, especially in the self-concept course. Should you feel how you'd feel if you had your manifestation? Yes, guys, if you can do that, if you can feel the feelings, go ahead. I don't tell people to do that because I know how hard it is to conjure feelings. So what I say is what Neville really taught, which is think the thoughts first and then the feelings come. Because you don't have control over feelings, you only have control over the thought. And then from the thought, you feel a feeling. So I don't say feelings because I know how confusing that is from the LOA world when people were trying to force themselves to feel positive all day, and it will confuse them if I say feeling. However, when you do think a thought predominantly over and over and over and you repetitively affirm, you will feel a feeling naturally anyway. So that's why I don't say it, even though I want you to use your senses. I want you to imagine with, hearing and smelling and touch and sound when you're visualizing, which will naturally conjure a feeling anyway. Okay, so I don't mention feelings on purpose because I know how confusing it can be, but I know that you're naturally doing it anyway. That's why I don't mention it. There's a method in my madness, guys. Okay. Affirmations for success in studies. I am so successful at school. Every exam I do, I pass with flying colours. I remember everything. I retain all the information I study. I'm an A grade student. How much will the course cost us? I have no idea, darling. I will have to work it out once I've filmed it. And how long it is, etc., and how involved and how much it cost me to make. Hey, Loz, loving the Facebook group. Oh, thanks, darling. Guys, please do join the Facebook group if you haven't already. I give you the warning that I'm going live in there just before I go live, and also you can watch all these lives back in there and ask questions in the Q&A forum. I'm about to post a new Q&A forum. I post one every Monday. Is it Tuesday? Oh my God, I forgot to post it yesterday. Whoops, shit. I thought it was, is it Monday? Or is it Tuesday? What day is it? I think it's Tuesday. How do we get over the fear that we're going to persist and affirm and not get what we want? Well, darling, I don't know what to tell you. Do you understand you created your reality thus far? You're going to have to keep reminding yourself every day, I'm a master manifester. I get what I want. I created this already, didn't I? Didn't I create the breakup? Well, shit, I must be masterful at this. You're going to have to keep reminding yourself every day, guys. If you can't get this, that you caused it, and you can change it, you're going to have to remind yourself every day, I'm a master manifester. I run this shit. I'm the queen of my reality. I'm the king of my reality. What I say goes. No one has any free will. They have to do what I say. Use those affirmations. I use those a lot to remind myself, because sometimes I wane and think, oh, they're making their own decisions. No, they're not. Got it? What was the app called again for looping your own affirmations? Okay, so on your iPhone, you go to your voice memos and you record your, just, once or twice saying your affirmations. Then you go to VLC. See this little orange VLC? It's in the App Store. You download it. And from your voice memos, you'll save your voice memo into VLC. It'll say save to files, save to VLC once you've uploaded VLC. Then you go into the audio and you'll see all your audios. And then when you go on them, so this one's called I Am Perfection. And when I go here, there's a little button there, and then you press loop. Watch this. See that button there? That little repetitive button? If you press that, it'll loop all night. And it will just play and play and play and play and play. Just plug your phone in so it doesn't run out of bats. But that's how you listen to them all night. Put it down low, but not so low that you can't hear it. That's how you do it at night. Now that I've identified my subconscious trauma, how do I fix them? By affirming against whatever the shitty thoughts are you have in that traumatic event, whatever the beliefs you now hold about yourself, the thoughts you currently have about yourself that are connected to that trauma, you affirm against it. You can go back and revise the trauma. You can have imaginary scenes against that trauma. You can visualize a happy future that doesn't involve you ever having trauma. All those things. Amazing. Thank you so much, Liz. Okay, good. Do we need to feel happy when living the end, but feeling like, yeah, it's here now? It's more, yeah, it's here now, rather than happy. You don't have to force happiness, darling. Just feeling it's done is the feeling you need. The feeling is the secret. When Neville says feeling is a secret, he means the feeling of it's done, not emotion. I'm always thinking about my SP. Does that mean he's also thinking about me? You can make it that meaning, darling. You give it the meaning, okay? Revision is like get into the memories and change them, or what is it? Never understood the term. Okay, so you go back to the scene in the past. You change it to what you wish was said, heard, and done. Change what they said. Change what happened. Loop it in your mind a couple of times over and over and over again until you feel a sense of naturalness, like that's what happened. That's what revision is. Loz, is it possible to change SP's personality or only their behaviour? Well, their behaviour is connected to their personality, but you can change your personality. I've changed people's personalities from being shy to being uber confident, I've changed people's bodies from being skinny to being muscly. That's their personality. Like a skinny guy who's not confident and shy to a muscly guy who's like an Adonis and confident. Absolutely. You just got to see them that way. Describe them that way. Can you tell us your experience with manifesting, like how you discovered it, etc.? When I was 19, I don't know where I heard the expression, I am that. You say I am to get something. So I started saying, I am a NIDA student. This is when I was 19, when I auditioned for drama school, the school I wanted to go to since I was 5. And I kept saying, I am a NIDA student. I am a NIDA student. I heard that somewhere. I don't know where. And I did that for months. I just assumed I was going to that school. Nothing was going to stop me going, and I kept saying I am that, which is all manifesting is, stepping in the state of having it already, being it already. I was doing it properly. Then I got into that school. Great, all worked. But then I discovered the secret when I moved to London, and it fucked me completely because I didn't really realise what I was doing, and I did it properly. Then the secret confused the hell out of me, and I thought I had to be positive, but I was suffering from depression and anxiety and OCD tendencies and all these things, and really, really crippling anxiety. And so I couldn't feel happy all day and positive, and so it didn't work for me. And I should have just gone back to what I originally learned, which was I am. Saying I am that. That's all affirming is. Stepping into the state of having it, being it already is all affirming is all manifesting is. That's how manifestation works. If I'd known that, I wouldn't have fucked it up by listening to The Secret. Then I discovered Neville in 2016 after reading every single manifestation book and listening to every, manifestation guru I could find. And then I fixed my brain. And then last year, I think it really sunk in for me what the hell I was doing wrong. That I didn't get that I was the only cause. And when I got that and the penny dropped, everything changed for me. When you get that, guys, that you are causing everything will change for you. Everything, your whole life. Monetary, relationships, family relationships, friendships, social outings, your house, everything will change. Got it? What did you do wrong then? I was trying to be happy. I was trying to be positive all the time. I was trying to do what The Secret told me. I was sending things out to the universe and all this shit. Didn't work. I always am looking at how I look and I can't stop. Well, you've got a paranoia about that, darling, from childhood. A paranoia about that. Somewhere in childhood, someone made you feel not good enough with your looks. Either they compared you to other girls, made you feel not good enough about your body or your face or your skin or something, or people bullied you, and therefore you now as an adult are paranoid about that. Discover what that was and affirm against it. I am beautiful just the way I am. My skin is perfect. My body is perfection, etc. Never give up. Exactly, darling. Can I do a revision to change the manifestation I accidentally made then, like a third party? Yes, darling. Just imagine that third party doesn't even exist. They can't exist in your reality if you don't think they're there. Just affirm her away. Loz, we're manifesting an ex. Better to visualize the relationship or marriage. Whatever you feel more comfortable for you guys. Some people find marriage very hard. Especially if their SP said, I never want to get married, or I've been married before, I never want to get married. Well, that might be hard for you. So just imagine the relationship. Depends what's less clunky in your brain. I went through a traumatic experience as a child. How do I revise against it? Okay, a good thing to do with a traumatic incident, I was saying this before, with revision, is not to go back to the actual scene of the event. So say you were abused and someone was walking into your bedroom. You would imagine they got to the door and then someone found them, pulled them away and said, hey, what are you doing? And the incident didn't occur because it's too traumatic to relive that again. That's how you would revise something like that. Okay? Loz, you are the only manifestation TikToker who I can rely on. Thank you for everything you do. Oh, wonderful day, darling. Oh, thank you so much. Yesterday I cried because I was missing him, but my brain instantly went to my affirmations. It clicked. Wonderful, darling. That's fantastic. Hooray. Is it normal to feel like you aren't meant to be living your current reality, but your imagined reality? Yes, guys. Your current reality, you're thinking, oh, what's this shit? This is what I want. What is this? Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Loz. You're welcome, Sally. My third party is a friend of mine, so I just want her to give up and leave all the way to me. Well, then, get rid of the bitch in your mind, darling. No, I don't go live with people. I'm loved by my SP. I'm SP's. Then get rid of the bitch in your mind, darling. No, I don't go live with people. I'm loved by my SP. I'm SP's obsession. I'm in SP's dreams. Yes, I'm SP's obsession. That's a great one. Thanks. Okay. I almost read too much into a text from SP today. Just imagine you saying, give it good meaning, lol. Yep, never read into their text, guys. The amount of meaning you put on text, because there's no... Texts are really hard, guys, because there's no intonation. You can't hear their voice. And if you don't put emojis, sometimes you'll read into it. I remember I had an old boyfriend in Italy. Okay, this is how you can read into text badly and give bad meaning. And he used to write all the time, MWAH. He was Italian. He terrible English. And I used to think he was doing an evil laugh. Every time he'd send it, I think, why is he doing that evil laugh? God, he's cock. God, he's overconfident. He's up himself. And I said to my best friend one day, keep sending me this evil laugh all the time. And he goes, that's mwah. He's sending you a kiss, you idiot. And I was like, oh my God. So I was giving it the worst meaning and having a reaction because I didn't understand. That's stupid. Like, that's what we do when we read into the text, guys. Is it okay to affirm she gives up, she lost all her interest, so we can still interact? What, the 3D? Yes, you can, guys, but I wouldn't even mention the fucking third party. I wouldn't even mention the bitch, but if you want to, go ahead. How to build your faith in manifesting. Look at your life. Is there anything there that you don't want? Did you create that? Did you cause that with your shitty thinking? Ta-da! You're a masterful manifester. That's it, darling. That's it. Or, if you don't believe me, test yourself and see. Get a free coffee, get a free parking spot, an easy parking spot outside Walmart, get someone to say a certain word, wear a certain thing, drive a certain car past you, etc. And then you'll realise you did that. It's not a coincidence, and ta-da, you're masterful. What can't you control? You can't control how it comes about. You can't. Is it normal to feel sort of empty when living in the end? No, darling. Empty? Why would you want to feel empty? Not great. Not a great feeling. Why would you feel empty? What do you mean by empty? I'm confused by that. It's all right if you're not feeling emotional about it, like before you're really cut up and obsessed and now you're feeling content, and that's fine. I always manifest parking spots. Yep, so do I. I always say I'm going to get a parking spot. I always do. And then we're sitting there waiting for other people, and then they come in, oh, I couldn't get any parking. And my friend always looks at me like, you always get parking. Because I don't assume I'm not going to. My mum always used to do that. And she used to say, I'm so arsey with parking, meaning I'm so good at getting parking spots. And because she used to assume that about herself, she always got parking spots. Always. What if you're worried about the way the bridge of incidents will come about? Well, stop that, darling. Stop worrying about it. Why are you worrying? You've got to get a handle on your fearful thoughts, your anxious thoughts, guys, by saying, I have fear, but it doesn't overtake me. I run my brain. My fears do not run me. I know how to control my emotions. If you've got anxiety, guys, you've got to quell it. EFT tap that shit out, please. I always say in my head, my SP and I are back together. Is this enough to say? Yes, you, darling, can say that, but you've also got to work on your self-concept and assume they love you, assume they forgive you, assume whatever it is that would help the old story. Get rid of the old story about them. But yes, that's a great affirmation. My SP and I are back together. Beautiful. What? But don't say SP, say the name. What can I affirm for deleting behaviours or patterns from abuse? What can I affirm for deleting behaviours or patterns? Okay, so you can go back and revise your childhood or things that happened to you as if they never happened. You can say, everyone in my reality treats me beautifully now. I get treated so beautifully from everyone in my life. I am always loved, wanted, adored, treated like gold. Everyone does what I want. I'm in control of what happens to me. And you can go back to the scenes, just like I said, and before the abuse happened, change it and revise it. And write the story of you. Write the story of your childhood as if none of that happened. Go and write the shitty story, then go and burn it, and then write the story you wish had happened. And step into the state of being that girl. Can you change narcissists? Yes, darling, I have many times. You've just got to not see them as a narcissist anymore and not assume they are one. They'll still turn up as a narcissist in everyone else's reality except for yours. In your reality, they'll be wonderful. If you want to say things like, okay, so say I know the narcissists in my reality have done things like being about themselves, talking about themselves, not spending enough time with me, not making time for me, not treating me as a priority. And I just say the complete opposite of all that. They treat me as a priority. They love me. They always talk about me. They always ask about me when we're on the phone. They make so much time for me. They treat me beautifully now, and that's how they turn up. And people say it's impossible. I've done it many times with both SPs and family members. So if I can do it, why can't other people? It's just how you see people, guys. They can only turn up the way you imagine them to be. What's Brody saying? Same. I affirm against it as I manifested without it knowing it's getting better. Where's Brody? I didn't even know she was here. Where have you been, Brody? How many affirmations are too many? It's better to have 4 or 5 specific affirmations on repeat. Yes, that's good, darling. But you can also have rampage a lot, your self-concept ones. What's Brody said? I missed it. Silly Soph, ever since I started watching you, my life has gotten so much better. Thank you, Loz. Oh, wonderful, darling. What did Brody say? I missed it. Yeah, I offered to drop in at the airport on Thursday, and he said, no, you shouldn't have to do that. Okay, Nat, well, fine. So it just means he doesn't want me to feel like a burden. Well, he wants to treat you like the lady, darling. He doesn't want you to be his taxi fucking driver because you're overgiving. Don't do that. Don't mother him, and don't offer to do shit for him because he's the man and he can fucking order a taxi. Got it? Getting your queen energy. Queens don't drive people around like a taxi driver. That's what he's doing. He's treating you like a queen. Let him. Got it? All right, guys, I've got to go. What did Brody say? I missed it. Are those narcissists still in your life? Yes. One isn't. One isn't, who is an ex-boyfriend who we had a huge falling out, and he's now turned up again in the reality of my best friend, turning up still in a narcissistic way. And I keep saying, I said to her, when you meet up with him, don't see him like that anymore. And she's like, and she kept describing, she said, oh, she told me all about the meeting. She's like, and then he did this and then he did that. And I'm like, because you keep seeing him that way. If I saw him, I wouldn't see him like that anymore. I see right through him. I see him as this really sad little boy who's scared of what people think of him and is scared of rejection and he's got a huge facade. And I see right through him, but you're not seeing him like that. And so he still keeps turning up like that. So if I saw him, I'd have pity on him if I saw him because I understand why he acts the way he does. I didn't at the time when we split up, but now I get it. So if he turned up in my reality now, our interaction would be completely different because I see him as this little broken child who needs constant attention and is so insecure, and that's why he acts that way, and he doesn't really like himself, like all narcissists. Does he not act the way he does because of you? No, I haven't actually seen him in my reality, so I actually don't know. If I saw him in my reality, then I'd know if I'd changed him in my mind. But in my friend's reality, he turned up very similar to the old him because she hadn't seen him differently. I've been here for 47 minutes. Have you really, darling? God, I must have been on for ages. My dad posted on my mum's page for a birthday, and one of the pics is of me, mum, and SP, Bursville, and yes, darling, love that. I love it how you answer so many questions in your life. I'm learning so much. Oh, good, darling. What do you feel about asking pendulum? What do you mean? Is this not this pendulum bullshit? Darling, it's just a necklace going back and forth. If you believe in that, it'll be true for you, but it's just a necklace. Is that what you're talking about? Pendulums? Guys, really? It's your subconscious mind that manifests. The pendulum isn't doing shit. It's like a crystal. If you believe in it, it'll be true for you. We love you. Oh, thanks, guys. Loz, what happens when like 100 people manifest a celeb? Who gets him? I had this question on this morning's live and people just weren't getting this. If you believe you're with them in your mind, you'll get them. There'll be one winner. Do those people believe they're with Harry Styles? I don't believe they do. So the girl who believes wholeheartedly that she's with Harry Styles will get Harry Styles. That must have been Olivia Wilde. You know what I mean? The girl who got Zac Efron must have believed she'd get Zac Efron. She was just a waitress in Queensland. She must have believed it. How can I stop my parents to not be verbally abusive to me? Okay, my parents are so lovely to me. They always speak sweetly to me. They think I'm so responsible. They let me do what I want. They always speak kind words to me. They're such a pleasure to be around. I love being around my parents. They're so wonderful to me. They treat me so beautifully now. Say those things, darling. What is your opinion on love lists for a new person? I don't know what you mean. Do you mean like what you want them to be like? Absolutely. It's a great idea. I've done that before and the person's turned up exactly the way I wanted. It was the person I was just talking about who was the narcissist. Turned up exactly like that, except I forgot to write not a fucking narcissist. Not full of himself. It wasn't specific enough. Sort of like feeling of, yeah, he's here, but not happy feeling it's just normal. Is this okay? Don't really understand that one, darling. Can you still get a dream job which has already been filled? Yes, darling. Don't worry about it already being filled. The person could leave. They could rehire, need someone else to do the same job, hire 2 people. Don't worry about the fact that in the 3D it looks like it's taken. Don't worry about it. All right, guys, I've really got to go because I've been on here forever. What is a love list? It's like a perfect man or woman checklist, what you would like them to be like, how you would like them to show up. Describe them in a journal, exactly how you want them to be, and they'll show up. I've done it with that SP, and he turned up exactly like that. When I read it, I was like, whoa, this is him. Right? But I forgot to added extras, like how he treated me. I spoke too much about his personality and his characteristics and not enough about how I was treated by him, and so therefore I was treated badly by him because of my self-concept, but I also hadn't been specific enough with what I wanted. I think when you're writing a perfect love list or a perfect man or woman checklist, you really want to concentrate on how does that person treat you. That's the most important thing. Loz, I got the job. I've been affirming so much. Wonderful, darling. Congratulations. Yay. Oh, wonderful. Yay. All right, guys, I've really got to go because I've been on here forever, like 51 minutes. What if they didn't treat you too bad, but it was you? Yeah, guys, so that's fine. They turned up great. They didn't treat you too bad. Then try and get them back knowing that they're a wonderful person. You know, they don't have to have treated you so badly for you to have broken up. It's just things happened, miscommunication happened, confusion happened, you broke up. Doesn't mean every single breakup is the person treats you bad. What is better to hear while asleep? Affirmations or subliminals? I don't believe in subliminals, darling, because I don't know what they're saying unless you've made your own. Okay, guys? Thank you for all your lives. Oh, you're welcome, guys. All right, I've got to go. So please do follow me if you don't follow me already. Turn the live notifications, the notifications on, the little bell. Get all notifications because sometimes TikToks are very unreliable. Also go to the Facebook group, Subconscious Laws, links in my bio, and you can get a notification there that I'm going to go live. Plus, I post all these lives in there, and I'm about to post the Q&A forum where you can post your questions. Please don't post them on the main page. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you soon. Yes, I go live every day around this time or a bit earlier, and then also nighttime US time. All right, guys. Love you so much. Bye. What do you want? I see you. I see you.